Good morning. It is Monday, November 13th. Here's what we're working on. The Grey Cup Festival takes over Hamilton this week.
Hamilton transit workers' strike enters into its 5th day.
And a luxury fashion company is launching a new beauty line for babies.
Babies?
Good morning to you, Adam.
Good morning to you.
In for Tim Boland.
Yes.
Steve is in for Brian Wood. Both
Morning.
celebrating their birthdays this week.
This feels very much like a weekend, Steve, doesn't it?
It kind of, yes, it does. It's kind of crowded in here though with 3 people, so it's
well, this is the way it always is, Steve.
It is like that. No, I meant
There's
for a
more
weekend.
coming in, yes.
For a weekend.
So,
But,
sorry. Tim's off celebrating a birthday, or Brian's off celebrating a birthday?
They both have birthdays tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Happy
So,
birthday,
yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's have a little look and see what's happening traffic-wise for us on the roads. And again, this is going to be an interesting week because it's going to be a little bit nicer than normal. We're going to see a fair amount of sunshine. We're not seeing any big storms, really, so it's going to be kind of nice. But on the roads right now, we're looking in pretty good shape to start the day. So, again, it's dark out, so it'll be light up in the next little while. But checking our cameras right now, we're seeing that on the roads, we're looking in pretty good shape. Looking down in Glendale, in the St. Catharines area, traffic's moving along in good shape. Looks like everything's moving along all right. Ontario Street roads are drier at this point. Again, traffic's fairly light through the Burlington Skyway Bridge through Hamilton. Traffic is starting to build just a little bit, but looking okay. Making the turn at Brant Street along the QEW, heading into Oakville and Mississauga and Toronto. Traffic is starting to build up as we would expect for this time of day. Up by the Fort Plant, things are still moving along in good shape. 403 west of Mississauga, seeing no major problems right now. 403 Erin Mills Parkway, again, traffic's moving along all right. A little heavier, though, up by Pearson Airport. So if you're heading that way in the next little while, you may want to leave just a little bit earlier just to make sure you get there on time. 401 west of the 400, seeing no major problems. And up by Hogs Hollow, seeing, again, no major problems out there. So that's a good thing. Good way to start the day. Let's hope it stays like that. I'll have more traffic and your weather in a few minutes.
Thanks very much, Steve. Well, a man is in serious condition following a shooting in Hamilton. It happened in a parking lot on Queenston Road just before 9 on Friday night. Police say a 22-year-old was found in the lot with gunshot wounds. He was taken to hospital in serious condition. Police say witnesses saw a 4-door sedan with a spoiler on the back drive off westbound on Queenston Road. It's believed to be a targeted attack.
Brantford police are asking for help finding a missing 14-year-old. They say Peyton is 5'4" with medium-length black hair, brown eyes, and a pierced nose. They put out a release overnight on X, but haven't said where she was last seen or what she's wearing.
And another 14-year-old in Brantford has been missing since Saturday. Brantford police say Alexis was last seen on Remembrance Day in the area of Pearl Street. She's white, 5'4", with straight red hair that's cut short on one side. Brantford police say she was wearing black shoes, but they don't have any other clothing description.
The lawyer for former fashion mogul Peter Nygaard says their legal team hasn't decided yet if they'll appeal his guilty verdict. A Toronto jury has found Nygaard, who's 82, guilty of 4 counts of sexual assault. They acquitted him of a 5th sexual assault charge and 1 of forcible confinement. Nygaard had pleaded not guilty to all charges, which stemmed from allegations dating back from the 1980s until the mid-2000s. He faces similar charges in upcoming cases in Quebec, Winnipeg, and the U.S.
Heads up for drivers in Thorold all this week. The Allenberg Bridge on Highway 20 is going to be closed to both pedestrian and vehicle traffic. This is part of a construction project from the Niagara region. The St. Lawrence Seaway Management says they'll be taking the opportunity to get some maintenance done to minimize any future inconvenience. There are not a lot of ways to get across the Welland Canal in that area, so drivers need to plan accordingly.
Today is day 5 of the ongoing HSR strike that's ground buses to a halt in the Hamilton region. Members of the ATU Local 107 have been picketing outside the HSR Mountain Transit Center on Upper James since Thursday, and buses across the city have stopped running. This is the first strike by city transit workers in 25 years. Union President Eric Tuck says his bargaining team is ready to go back to the table at any time, but has not heard anything from the city.
The city is obviously not changing from their position. We've said all along we are prepared to go back to the bargaining table and move off of our position. You know, the mayor keeps quoting that 23%. That was in mid-negotiations. We have room for movement, and we need the city to be able to move off of their numbers so that we can sit down and get this resolved. The Grey Cup is just a week away, and you know, that's something the city should be able to host and be very proud of hosting. Unfortunately, it sounds more and more like it might not be as a center of pride as we would hope it to be.
The union says they're looking for a wage increase to keep up with inflation and the cost of living. Hamilton Mayor Andrew Horwath took to Twitter yesterday, accusing the union of stoking division when they singled out raises received by the city's HR director. Another issue appears to be around bathrooms, with the union saying the city hasn't met a 2019 mandate for bathroom access, and the mayor pointing out that 16 washrooms had been built and 5 more are in progress.
Community centers and arenas in the town of Oakville will reopen today now that a strike by outside workers is over. Members of their union voted to accept a new collective agreement over the weekend. The town says loose leaf collection will resume on residential streets today as a result, and leash-free dog parks have already reopened. Programs and rentals at rec centers and arenas resume today. Well, a new sculpture has been unveiled marking 125 years of electrical power in Hamilton. It's called Empower, and the 12-foot tall sculpture seems to change as you walk around it. You can check it out near the Lakeland Pool on Hamilton's waterfront trail. The city of Hamilton contributed $200,000 for this piece, with the Nikola Tesla Educational Corporation paying the rest. The interactive aluminum piece by artist Lily Otasevic marks the arrival of electricity in Hamilton on November 12, 1898. Well, the Grey Cup Festival kicks off today with an action-packed schedule right across the city of Hamilton. Simone Gavros joins us now from the waterfront, where the Grey Cup itself is set to arrive in just a few hours.
Hi, Annette. Yes, I'm here at HMCS Haida here behind me, and we are awaiting the arrival of the iconic Grey Cup trophy. It's going to be arriving here around 12:15 today, and then the official arrival ceremony is going to kick off a little later following that. Now, as well, both the Montreal Alouettes and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to touch down in Hamilton later this evening, and the rest of the week is filled with events for everyone to enjoy. Fan Central kicks off at 11 a.m. on Thursday through Sunday along James Street. Fans can expect live music from more than 40 artists, food trucks, art installations, the Hamilton Christmas Market, and so much more, free of charge and fun for all ages. Now, the celebrations will be making their way to Niagara Falls Thursday night for the 2023 CFL Awards. And of course, top music acts will be taking the stage as well throughout the week, including Shaggy, Carrie Underwood, and the halftime show by Green Day. So this is all leading up to the 110th Grey Cup that's going to be kicking off here on Sunday at 6 p.m. So we'll be watching for that. Adam, I'll send things back over to you.
Thanks very much, Simone. Taking a look at sports now, and we now know the two teams headed to the Grey Cup. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers making their 4th appearance in as many years. For the Montreal Alouettes, this is their first appearance in 13. But both teams have made it here because of their defensive performances in the conference finals. Though Winnipeg may have that offensive caliber to take it all the way. The last time they won the Grey Cup, well, it was right here in Hamilton in 2021. The last time Montreal won was 13 years ago, their last appearance. And of course, Annette, football fans here in Hamilton are just happy the Argos aren't in the big game. Over in the NFL, we'll pick it up in the 4th. Chargers down 4th and 1. Sees Justin Herbert throw a dime to Keenan Allen to tie the game at 38 apiece. 2 seconds left in the game. Riley Patterson drills a 41-yard field goal. 41-38 Lions the final. He was one of 5 kickers who had game-winning field goals with zeros on the clock Sunday. Over in Dallas, it wasn't a great night for the Giants. Dak Prescott had 404 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Brandon Cooks had 173 receiving yards, and CeeDee Lamb, well, he made history with 3 consecutive games with at least 10 receptions and 150 yards receiving. No other player in Super Bowl era has 3 back-to-back games with those numbers. In this one, he had 11 receptions, 151 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cowboys wallop the Giants 49-17. Taking a look at tennis, Team Canada wins the Billie Jean King Cup for the first time in the country's history. They are now the 13th nation to win. Leylah Fernandez sealing the deal for Team Canada for a record purse of $2.4 million. NHL News' Jay Woodcraft and Dave Manson's fates were already sealed before the Edmonton Oilers took the ice in Seattle Saturday night. And despite the Oilers' 4-1 win, raising their record to 3-9-1, the decision had already been made by CEO of Hockey Operations Jeff Jackson and General Manager Ken Holland to fire the head coach and the assistant in charge of defense. They were given their walking papers yesterday. Chris Knobloch, Connor McDavid's former coach with the Erie Otters, will be taking over coaching duties for the team. Despite Hamilton's own Arbor Jacki getting his first goal of the season for the Habs last night, the Vancouver Canucks bounced back from a Saturday night loss to the Leafs to hand Montreal a 5-2 loss. Vancouver is tied for third in the league with 23 points. Now, I praised young phenom Connor Bedard for his silky smooth mitts last week in his 4-point game. Well, he was back at it again last night against the Panthers with time running down in the first, and the Hawks down 1. Bedard steals the puck from Steckland and goes roof daddy on Bobrovsky to tie this one up at 2s. What a pretty goal that was. Now jump to the second. Panthers now up 1 again, and again Bedard shows off some skill, picking the corner on goalie Bob to tie the game up again. Unfortunately for the Hawks, Bedard couldn't do it all, and they fall to the Panthers 4-3. The top scoring rookie this season finished with 2 goals and now has 13 points in 13 games.
Okay, let's check your traffic right now. We're seeing not too bad conditions out there. It's 6:11 on your Monday, so let's hope it stays that way. Out there on the roads, traffic is building up in some areas. So let's go to our cameras right now and see what we've got on the go. So looking through the north end of Toronto along the Hogs Holloway, things are building up okay right now, as you would expect, but traffic's moving along in great shape. And weather's not going to be a factor for travel today, so that is some good news. As we get to 403 and Erin Mills Parkway, seeing no major problems. Up by Pearson Airport, traffic is developing as we saw just a few minutes ago. So if you're heading up that way, be prepared for some traffic down towards the Niagara area, QEW, Ontario Street, seeing no major problems out there at all. So let's hope it stays that way today. And in fact, if you've got this week off, if you're planning outdoor activities, should be not a bad week with temperatures at or above seasonal, and we'll see a fair amount of sun out there. Until we get to Friday, of course. So what we're watching right now is a system to the north of us, and it's bringing some snow into the Ottawa area, a little bit of rain to the southern parts of the province, but not likely to get down to our area. We're looking for partly clear skies. In fact, high pressure will dominate us for most of the week and give us some fairly nice conditions. So those looking for winter-like conditions, not going to see it here. You'll have to go up north or into the Ottawa area over the next few days. So as we look at conditions today, sun will be up at 7:10 a.m. down at 4:58 p.m. Normal highs about 8 degrees this time of year, lows of 0, and we are expecting to see some sun today and a little bit of rain to the north of us, but really nothing much here in the southern parts of the province. A little warm front sliding through as well. And again, high pressure will be dominating us for the next several days, giving us some partly clear skies, keeping the precipitation away. But by the time we get to Friday, then we're looking for a little system to slide through our way. Here it comes right here, which could trigger some showers into the weekend. But the weekend looks, although cooler, it's still looking kind of nice out there, partly clear skies. So for today, our high is expected to be around 11 degrees, which will be 3, maybe 4 degrees higher than seasonal. 40 kilometer-an-hour wind gusts, and again, mostly sunny out there, mostly a mix of that. For tonight, temperatures get down to about 1 degree, no precipitation expected, light winds, a little bit of cloud rolling through the area. And tomorrow, we're looking for a high of 9 degrees, low UV again, 20 kilometer-an-hour winds, and again, mostly, partly cloudy, some sun, some cloud out there, so not bad over the next few days. So again, it's a nice week shaping up ahead of us. Let's hope it stays that way. That's it for now.
Okay, we're going to check in now with Emily Vukovic to see what she's got coming up in Chit Chat.
Good morning. Well, the National Toy Hall of Fame in New York has announced this year's inductees. And guys, there's going to be a couple from our childhood in there.
Oh, okay. We'll
it's going to make us feel real young.
What was your go-to toy as a kid?
Oh, I had a Wrinkles doll, like one of those stuffed dogs, like it was a puppet.
I had a Ralph Wrinkles as well, actually.
A Ralph Wrinkles.
Yeah, his name was Ralph.
His name was
He was a
Ralph.
Wrinkles doll, yeah.
Mine was just named Wrinkles.
And
I'm
your
so not
go-to toy?
original.
You know what? My favorite toys were the little farm tractors that I used to play with, the little equipment things.
That's a shocker.
Oh. Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised.
Yeah.
At
And
all
books.
of this.
I could, yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I had my own little library.
I was a big He-Man guy. I had the whole collection of He-Man.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What was the saying?
By the power of
By the power of
Grayskull.
Grayskull. By the power of Grayskull, I will meet you at the couch at 6:40.
Okay, we'll see you. Okay, well, nobody could beat Bad Boy Furniture on prices, it turns out, except the bank. They're in trouble. The details coming up in Business News. Coming up on 6:18 on your Monday morning, in overseas trading, Canadian dollar is down 5 basis points to 72.42 cents U.S. Gold is up almost $5 an ounce. Crude oil is up 12 cents to $77.29 a barrel. Checking European markets now, they are up in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets are up in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. And in North American markets, the TSX gained 67 points. The Dow is up 391. The NASDAQ earned 277.
Lastman's Bad Boy Furniture has filed for bankruptcy. The Canadian company's been around since 1955 when former Toronto Mayor Mel Lastman opened his first store in Toronto. That one store on Weston Road grew into a chain of over 40 locations. In a letter to staff and customers, Lastman's Bad Boy explained this decision was necessary because of a challenging economic environment driven by high interest rates, declining home sales, and a tight retail climate in home furniture. Now, some customers who have made deposits for future deliveries might not get their purchases or their refunds. The store recommends that you contact your credit card company.
Scotiabank plans to close more than 15 branches across Atlantic Canada. The bank says it is consolidating branches because customer preferences are changing and more banking is done digitally. Several locations across New Brunswick are expected to shut down. Customers, mayors, and bank officials have also said Scotiabank will close 8 locations in rural Newfoundland, 3 in PEI, and several in Nova Scotia.
One of the largest port operators in Australia is resuming operations 3 days after a cyber attack. The breach had halted operations at the company, which manages about 40% of the goods that flow in and out of the country. DP World says about 5,000 containers should be moving again today, but they warn that there could be more outages as they investigate the attack and improve their systems. There have been so many cyber incidents in Australia in the last year that the government there has set up an agency to help coordinate responses.
Thank you so much.
A new round of United Nations-backed talks to limit global plastic pollution is taking place in Kenya this week. Governments from around the world are meeting in Nairobi to try and reach an agreement on the planet's plastic problem. According to research published in March, the amount of plastic in the ocean has surged dramatically since 2005, and it's on track to triple by 2040. Some countries are favoring a Paris-style agreement that would let states set their own commitment levels, while others are hoping to see a central agreement.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break right now. Steve is going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast.
And welcome back to Morning Live, 6:23 on your Monday. We've got, I'll say a dandy week ahead of us weather-wise, and a good start to the day as far as traffic is concerned as well. 6:23 in the morning, looking at the south end of the Burlington Skyway eastbound, which is to the right of your screen, moving along in good shape. It's a little busier than westbound, which you would expect. Down towards the Niagara area, it is pretty open right now. Looking at the Garden City Skyway eastbound currently, roads are dry and clear, and that is some good news. Up by Walker's Line, starting to see things build now, moving in from the Burlington area into Oakville, and again eastbound coming towards us to the left of your screen, westbound. Not quite so busy out there. So go to the Ford plant. It's a little busier than it was just a few minutes ago. Up by Pearson Airport, we're seeing things moving along in pretty good shape, but building as we would expect for this time of day. So that is the good news. Okay, Emily Vukovic is in the Florida Keys all week. How much fun is that? And we'll be visiting a different region each and every day to set us up for that. The temperatures right now, and this is at Key West, the southernmost part of the USA, one of my favorite spots, 26 degrees. Just a gorgeous start to the day today. It's known for its beaches, nightlife, and unique pastel-colored architecture. And she'll be along a little bit later on with that. All right, let's have a look and see what's happening weather-wise for us here. It's going to be kind of nice as well. Not quite those 26-degree temperatures out there, but not too bad out there at all. We'll be a little bit above seasonal, which is 8 degrees for this time of year. There's a system to the north of us bringing some snow into the northern parts of the province and also into the Ottawa area. But for us, we're just looking for partly clear skies here in the southern parts of the province, and should be for the next number of days. And as we get into today, we'll see some partly clear skies. Again, warm air coming ahead of a low pressure system, a warm area coming our way. And we're going to get into the cooler stuff by the end of the week, but in general terms over the next few days, it's going to be kind of nice out there. Day planner today, we'll get up to, shows that we've got up to 11 degrees, which was 3 degrees above seasonal, and we'll see some sun and cloud throughout the day. Your evening commute should be no problem out there at all. A little bit of cloud, especially in the Niagara and Halton area, a little bit less in Hamilton. And look at the extended forecast. We do see some nice conditions. Look at these temperatures, and except for Friday, where we get some rain, it's going to be kind of nice out there. So let's enjoy our week here anyway. That's it for now.
Okay, this isn't your normal traffic, and this is certainly not your average boxcar derby.
I love seeing these, but I don't know how people don't get hurt. Around 30,000 people gathered in the streets of Buenos Aires for the first Red Bull Crazy Cars race in Argentina in a decade. Around 30 carts took to the track, decked out as everything from toilets to wine barrels. Contestants were judged on originality, performance, and the time it took to complete the course. Now, a retro-inspired ambulance took first place with a time of just under a minute.
And maybe you'd need that ambulance.
Yeah, I think
you fell out, especially the one that fell out of the toilet.
It's good that the ambulance was quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got lots more to come. Stay with us.
Why would people do that?
It's for fun.
I don't get it.